Hello, thank you so much for joining me. In today's practice, I will be guiding you through a Yin Yoga sequence to open your heart space. You will need a couple of blocks and a bolster or a pillow, and we will go ahead and get started in our Vajrasana position. So for Vajrasana, we want to stack our blocks, bringing them to the back of our mat, and then we're going to sit down onto those blocks with our legs either side, toes untucked, legs relaxed. And we're going to start to ground our sitting bones down into that block, the top of our head, reaching towards the ceiling, shoulders softening, down our back. And then I invite you to close down your eyes here. We will be spending a few minutes in this position, so make sure your body feels comfortable. And we're going to use our time in this position just to start to slow everything down. To connect with our body, with our breath today. Just getting comfortable in our space. So take a moment here to make sure that your jaw is unclenched. Your eyebrows relaxed, your forehead soft. Keeping that spine long. Allow your body to soften. Starting to connect with the sensations of your body today. How are you feeling? How does your body feel? Maybe you notice areas of your body that feel a little bit tight or uncomfortable or tense today. And that's okay, just acknowledge those areas. And direct your breath into those areas. Allowing every exhale to bring a little bit more softness into those tight parts of your body. And we can start to deepen our breath here, doing this gradually, lengthening those inhales through your nose. Breathing all the way into the belly if you can, and then releasing that breath slowly through the mouth or nose. Just letting that deep breath calm your mind, your body and your nervous system. Just getting ourselves prepared for our practice today. And if you feel okay to do so, we can bring our hands to our heart space, palms pressing into our chest, connecting to our heart space, feeling our heartbeat, feeling our chest rise and fall with every round of breath. letting go of anything that's been worrying us or troubling us or holding us back with this next exhale. Releasing, letting go, letting those negativities just float away with the breath. Leaving space in our heart for growth, happiness, for love, for expansion. Final couple of deep breaths. And then when you feel ready, we can start to open our eyes. We can release our hands and we'll make our way into our tabletop position. So we'll remove the blocks from underneath us, just placing them towards the top of our mat. Grounding the hands down, just stacking shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. And we'll warm up our spine with a few rounds of cat-cow. So taking a deep breath in, we start to lower our belly as we lift the tailbone and chest, opening our heart to cow pose. And then exhale, round your spine, drop your head, really press the ground away from you. Let's take a few more deep breath in, lowered belly, lifted chest, open heart, cow, and rounding to cat on the exhale. 2 more deep breath in, nice fluid movement, lifting tailbone and chest. Exhale, rounding to cat, lift through the shoulders. Final time, deep breath in, open that heart space. And exhale, round to cat. Then we're going to find a neutral spine. And we're going to make our way into our first hold, which will be our melting heart. So keeping that stack of hips above knees, start to walk your hands towards the top of your mat. Now we can lower our forehead or our chin to the ground. Option to soften this by bringing a block or a cushion or your bolster underneath your chest for a little bit more support. So once you find your melting heart pose, relax your body. Continue with that deep breath and find stillness, allowing your heart to melt towards the ground. Body heavy, staying present with this asana. And I will let you know when we're down to our final minute here. So just over 1 minute left here now. Final few rounds of deep breath. And then nice and slowly we start to ground the forearms, ground the palms into the mat. Lifting our head, we start to send our weight forward, allowing our hips to find the mat, stepping the forearms forward so that the shoulders are above the elbows, coming into our Sphinx pose. Now, we can bring a block underneath our forehead here. Relax your legs, relax your lower body. Feel free to close down your eyes as again we spend 4 minutes in our Sphinx. Finding that intensity, finding stillness, breathing in to this hold. Allowing your body to soften with every exhale. Just over 1 minute left here now. Final few deep breaths. And then gently begin to lift your head away from that block. Place that block to one side. Let's stack one hand on top of the other. And let's lower all the way down to our mat. Feel free to give your hips a little rock from side to side. To give your head a slow turn from side to side. Just allow your body to sink into the mat, to rest before we move into our next couple of asanas. Let's just take a few more rounds of deep breath here. And then slowly lifting your head and bringing the left hand underneath your left shoulder. We're going to extend our right arm out to our right side now, coming into our open wing position. So right hand in line with the right shoulder. When you feel ready, we start to roll onto our right hip. So that left hand is pressing down into the mat. We can bend the knees for a little bit more stability. We can even step that left foot behind the right leg. Now, option to sweep left hand behind your back. Maybe the fingertips wrap underneath your body to add a little bind in this position. So we are going to be spending 4 minutes here. Again, I'll let you know when we're down to our final minute. Feel free to close down your eyes. Feeling that opening through that right shoulder. Remember, in our yin practice, we are looking for that stillness. Allowing that energy to travel through the body. Softening into the position with every exhale. And staying present, staying connected in each asana. Just over a minute left now. Final few deep breaths. And then nice and slowly, if you did find your bind, if you swept that left hand behind your back, bring it all the way down to the ground. Straighten out the legs and we can roll all the way back onto our belly, stacking the hands. Forehead to the back of the hands. Feel free to give your hips a little rock to slowly turn your head from side to side, massaging your forehead. Maybe bending the knees and giving the legs a little sway. Find what feels good for your body and allow your body just to melt into the ground. Let's take a moment here before we move on to the second side. And then gently lifting your head. Now this time we're bringing the right hand underneath our right shoulder. We extend our left arm out to the left side of our mat. That hand is in line with the shoulder. Taking a deep breath in. And when you feel ready, this time rolling onto our left hip. Again, option to bend the knees. Option to step that right foot behind the left leg. Maybe we choose to take that bind, sweeping the right hand behind the back this time. Maybe tucking the fingers underneath the body. Maybe rolling our weight back slightly just to deepen, to intensify that stretch through the left shoulder. Again, we're spending 4 minutes on this side. So find that intensity. And then find stillness. Stay connected and breathe through your open wing asana. Just over 1 minute left. Final few deep breaths. And then if you've found your bind, we can start to release that right hand and we can bring it all the way down to the ground underneath that right shoulder, straightening out the legs as we make our way all the way back onto our belly. And this time we'll slide the left hand underneath the left shoulder. And then when you're ready, start to lift your hips. We're going to rise through our tabletop position. And we'll make our way into our child's pose. Now, option for a closed or open knee child's pose. Option to bring a block underneath your head, just for a little bit more stability, a little bit more comfort. Maybe sweeping the arms down by your sides, maybe keeping your arms extended. Find what feels right for your body. Hips reaching back towards the heels. And we'll spend some time breathing into this child's pose. Final few rounds of breath here now. then slowly we can start to lift the chest, walking the hands back. As we rise all the way up to a seat on our heels, lifting the chest, feel free to have a little bit of a shake out, to roll the shoulders, to move the head, to roll the wrists, have a little rebound wriggle here if that feels nice for your body. And then whenever you're ready, all we're going to do is just roll to one side and bring the legs out in front of us. Now from here, we're going to make our way into our supported fish pose. So this is where we're going to need to set up our props. So taking our blocks, we're going to stack them and bring them to the back of our mat. And then we're going to take our bolster and we're going to make a little ramp. So bringing the top of the bolster onto those blocks and making a little ramp for ourselves. And then once you've done that, we're going to bring our hips to the base of that ramp, and we can start to lower all the way down onto that support. Now do make sure your neck is supported here. We don't want the head hanging off the back of the bolster. So option here to keep your knees bent, feet to the ground. Option to straighten out the legs. We do want to focus on our shoulders melting down either side of that support. Heart opening towards the sky, and we can close down our eyes here. 4 minutes in this supported fish. Nice deep breaths. Find that stillness. And let's settle in. Just over 1 minute left here now. Final few breaths. then nice and slowly start to tuck your chin towards your chest. Lifting the head, using the forearms to roll the spine all the way back up to a seated position, nice and slowly. There's no rush here. And then all we're going to do is move our props to one side. And we can start to lower all the way down to our back. And we'll just counterbalance that fish pose by hugging both knees into our chest. Feel free to take a little rock from side to side, finding this reclined child's pose, massaging your spine on your mat. And then making our way into our supine twist. So letting both knees fall to the right side of our mat. And we can bring that right hand on the knees just to anchor them down. Option to use blocks. Bolster underneath the legs for a little more support. We're going to stretch our left arm out to our left side. And we will turn our head towards that left hand. That left shoulder is softening into the ground. Breathing into this twist, softness with every exhale. Just over 1 minute left now. Are there any areas of your body that you can relax that little bit more in this twist for our final minute here? all the way back to center. Bringing our knees in to our chest, finding that reclined child's pose, maybe taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then we're going to switch sides, so knees fall into the left side, left hand on the knees, let's anchor them down. Again, option to use blocks underneath your legs for a little bit more support. Right arm extended, head turned towards the right hand, and that right shoulder softens into the ground as we breathe here, balancing out the body with 4 minutes on this side as well. Find what works for your body, find stillness, and stay connected to your breath. Just over 1 minute left. Final chance to soften, to release into your twist. Final few deep breaths. And then let's gently make our way back to center. For the final time, squeezing our knees into our chest, recline child's pose. Final chance to have a little wriggle out, maybe circling the hips to massage the joints. Maybe rolling the ankles, pointing, flexing the toes, maybe straightening out the legs for a moment. Listen to your body, move in a way that feels right for you. And then you're ready, we can start to make our way into our Shavasana. Please feel free to bring your block underneath your knees for a little bit more comfort through the lower body. Feel free to rest the backs of your hands onto your blocks. Find a nice comfortable position, palms pointing up towards the sky, legs, hips, body completely relaxed. Letting the eyelids become heavy. And we're just letting our breath flow naturally now. We're not forcing, we're not controlling anything. Spending a little bit of time in this Shavasana, and the deeper we relax, the more benefits we receive from the asanas, from the movement we've taken today. So get comfortable and settle into stillness. And I will let you know when it's time to deepen the breath, to reawaken the body once again. Let's start to deepen our breath now. Bringing our awareness back to our body. And then finding some gentle movement, wriggling our fingers, wriggling our toes, start to reawaken the body. Maybe gently rocking the hips or slowly turning the head from side to side. Start to reconnect with your body. We can make those movements bigger, finding a stretch, squeezing the knees back in towards our chest. And then whenever you feel ready, gently rolling onto your preferred side, let's find our fetal position. And then carefully start to press yourself all the way up to a nice comfortable seated position, bringing your hands to heart center. Take a final moment here just to connect with your heart space. And then when you're ready, we can float our eyes open. And this is where we are closing our practice. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day.